Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how to update the resources section. And what I mean by that is how do we make words into links and insert files so that our members can access various things throughout the website. We're also going to talk about how to do the blast from start to finish. So the first thing I want to show you is how to update a resource in member resources. And we have a new calendar that we need to add to member resources. The last calendar was that we received was a month ago, and so we're going to update it with the newest version that we have. And the first thing that you need to do is go to the bottom of whatever field you need to edit, and you want to click on the edit button, which is the green E here. And we're going to update this calendar right here, and so I'm going to highlight this, and you'll notice that these links here come up. We want to break the link that is associated with this title, and so we click this button here to unlink it. And the first thing that we want to do is change July to August. I already know that that's the newest update. And so we have that, and in order to link a file that we already have, you want to highlight the entire title, and you want to click on this button here, and it says insert file. So you click there, and just to let you know, I've already saved the document. It was emailed to me, and then I saved it onto my personal computer. So now what I need to do is get it from my personal computer uploaded to the website. And we have a bunch of folders, and you want to find the one where we're going to be inserting the document. So we want to go to the resources and click on that, and we're going to put it into the member resources section. So we click on member. This just helps us to be able to locate files down the road. One of these days it's my plan to get in here and clean up some of the generalized areas, because when we first started using the website we did not have a lot of folders, and we've been able to add those over time, and we need to do a little organizing, which we will take care of. So now what we need to do is we need to upload the calendar that we received that I did save to my personal computer. So we click upload, and it's going to bring up this little window. And sometimes on my computer I do have trouble with the window opening, so I'm going to go ahead and click the basic uploader so that it brings up the browse button. And here I am at my personal computer's folder. I'm going to find the file. Here is the file. I'm going to open it, and I will click upload. Now it's telling me that it's successfully uploaded, and we can close that down. And now we'll look for that calendar, which is right here, 8/15. You want to check this box right next to it, and then you want to click insert. And now the new calendar is updated here, and we'll save that. And then we can go back in just to double check that it does work. You want to click on the link, and you can open it. And you see that it is here. So we'll just close that back down. And that's basically how to insert a file. Later on I'll show you how to do other things like images and videos and those kinds of things. But if you haven't had a chance to take a look at the webinar for web content editing, please do that as soon as you can. Because it's going to give you a lot of tips and things that we won't be covering in my little mini videos. These are just things that I need to show you so that we can do the work of Junior League of Long Beach. Okay, so now what we want to do is we're going to talk about how to do the blast. And I mentioned to Megan that we have been having trouble with the blast lately, but I'm hopeful that the troubles that we've been having recently are behind us. And so I'm going to show you how to do the blast within the Digital Cheetah environment. There is another way that we have that we can use in a pinch, and that is MailChimp. It's also available within the Digital Cheetah environment, but I won't be showing you how to do that today. We're just going to show you how to do the basic blast, and this is the one that we use all the time. The MailChimp should only be used in an emergency situation if you cannot use, for some reason, if you cannot use the Digital Cheetah one that's offered. I just find that this one's better formatted for us, and it's easier to navigate. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to click on Enter Admin Area, and we're going to click on Content, and then you're going to click on Send Newsletter. And for ease, what I do is I copy a format. So I'll just make a copy of this one that's called Newsletter by clicking Copy. It will bring up Newsletter Copy. We're going to edit the title of that to make it the new date of the next blast. We always title it pretty much the same. Actually, I've been starting to put the word member in there because of the spamming problems that we had. I'm just guessing that having the word member in there may avoid any issues with or questions whether or not this is spam. So JLLB member news blast, and then the date of the blast. And in this case, it's going to be August 18th. And then once you get the title, then you click Enter, and you have our new name. I missed putting 18 in there. Oh, it doesn't fit. So if it's too long, then just abbreviate the month. That should help. Okay. So now we have this new corrected name, and what I typically do is I go to the news at jllb.org. That is accessible within Google. So I will be giving you the passwords to news and also administrator, and the passwords to the administrator user for the website too. So we only really have one blast article for this week. Christy submitted this blast item for a book club some time ago, and you can see that she requested certain dates for that blast to appear, and this week happens to not be one of those dates. So we only have one blast to actually enter, and so towards the end, what I typically do is if it's a light week, sometimes I'll take a look at the calendar and see what is coming up, and then just have one entry in there that talks about anything that's upcoming. And so that's my plan for this blast, is to go ahead and do that. We will have a mark your calendars article, and then also the new member mixer, and that should be enough for right now for me to show you how to do the things that we need to do. So what I do typically is I make a list on paper of the order of how of the articles, and I typically do some if there's brand new information that is specifically JLLB related, that will go on the top. I try to figure out the order of priority of things. So like I said, brand new news, JLLB related goes on the top. If it's brand new news and it's some other community related event or a member update, that would go further down. We want to always have JLLB news at the top, if at all possible, unless it's like a catastrophic event or something, you know, crazy, like, you know, a highly regarded member has passed, or, you know, God forbid something like that happened. Something like that, that's okay to have at the very top article, but other than that, we want it to definitely be JLLB, upcoming events, and also you want to, if it's brand new, it's a good idea to have that first rather than repeating other articles ahead of that new news. Okay, so what we do is we know already that the first article that we're going to include is actually this mixer we've already had as new. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a brand new article for Mark Your Calendar. And so how to prepare the blast, we're back here at Newsletter Management, and we are going to click Edit. And it brings you to this page here. And this is where we enter all of our articles. So you want to enter your headings. This one is going to say Mark Your Calendar. I like to use exclamation points whenever I can, just because I think that they add a flavor of excitement. And then we're going to insert the article in here. So we're going to click on the green E, and we go back to the email, click on Tisha's email, and if, you know, the first few times when you're doing this, you might want to take a look at all of the articles prior to actually getting to make the changes. Just to see what kinds of edits you may need to do within that article. I can already see that we need to remove this 27th, this TH here. I typically use full dates when we're talking about articles that include dates. So all we do is we copy the language within the article, and we come back over into the newsletter, and you're going to block all of this information, and we want to insert it as plain text, because many times when you copy from different programs, even from Word or Excel, any email, the different email providers, they might have some fields in their HTML that can cause problems with the website. And so all we have to do in order to prevent that is to copy the information, the language that we're going to paste into here, as plain text. And to do that, you want to click this button right here. We're going to copy it as plain text, or paste as plain text. So now we're going to paste that in, and you can decide if you want to bold any information. You can copy exactly how the member submitted it. I encourage you to make edits. Don't be afraid if you need to make edits. If you see a spelling error or a grammatical error, make the appropriate changes, because some folks are, you know, everyone makes mistakes, and so we want to try to put out the best news blast that we can, and if we find areas that need fixing, we do that. The other thing that you need to know is, unfortunately, if we were to save this and send the blast just this way, there's going to be big, huge gaps in here if we don't fix that. And so what we have to do is we have to manually go in and remove the extra field there, whatever's there within the HTML. And so how you do that is you click the Shift and Enter button at the same time, and it will take you down just one line, and you want to do it again so that you get that additional space, and you have to do that for every single line. That is one bummer within this, and I'm going to just remove that because I think it looks funny. And many times they will put language in like this where it says RSVP on the online calendar with your guest. We try to put in a link where we can, whenever we can, and so we're gonna first of all, I'm gonna change this language to say click here to RSVP now. RSVP for you and your guest now. Get rid of that. And you can decide. You can just do click here as the link, or you can do the whole thing. I just, sometimes it's hit and miss with me. I decide what is more impactful. I'm starting to like longer links because you can see them better, but that is a style thing, so you decide how you'd like it to look, and as long as the link works, then that's the most important thing. So here we have it's highlighted, and what we need to do now is open up another JLLB window, and then you can find the calendar item that you want to insert into the blast. And you go into that. We want to do this one for August 27th. Click on that, and you're going to copy this entire link here in the browser. And then you go back over to the editor, and we're going to link that now. So you're going to click this link button. You're going to paste that in, and then I always do open in new window. Always, always, always. That way, when they open it, they can look at it, and the blast is still there. It will, once they're done with whatever they need to do in the new window and they close it down, the blast is still there for them to take a look at, or the web page that they're on is still there to take a look at. If you don't do the open in new window, it will, if you're actually linking to an external website, it's going to take them away from Junior League of Long Beach website, which we don't want. We'd like them to stay on our website as long as we can. So now we're going to click on Insert, and there's our link. And for Blast, and it's typically only the Blast. Some of the web pages I do this also, but for the Blast for sure, I bold the links. So that so they really stand out for folks. And one last thing I do is I click the delete button at the very end to make sure that there are no extra lines at the bottom, and then click save. And I just realized that I put the wrong article in this first box. So it's a good learning lesson. It's not that big of a deal to rearrange. You just click down the next one, and we're going to copy this. And once you're in here and you've already got everything set up, it's easy just to do this. You can just paste it. You don't have to do it as plain text if you are copying directly from the blast. So I pasted this in here. I'm going to save that. I am going to rename this. Sometimes I will use the title that the member submits, or I come up with my own header for the article. So I'm going to say next new member mixer. It's the last new member mixer of the summer, so we're going to say last new member mixer. of the summer is August 27th. And for headers, it's okay to use an abbreviated date. So that's the one article. And then now let's come back up here and fix this. Simply delete that. And we're going to fill in a couple of dates. If we look at the calendar coming up, we're here. So this has already passed. And we just did an article for this. So next we're going to go into September. And a few things that are coming up that we should think about highlighting is this Kids in the Kitchen pop-up community health fair, the general meeting, and we can go ahead and say Sustainer Council meeting also, and the book club. And so what I usually do is I provide links in each one of those if they're sign-ups. And not all of them are going to have sign-ups. We don't have a Sustainer Council sign-up, so that one will not have a link. But the others, I'm going to go ahead and include links so that it's easy to for folks to sign up directly from the blast. So the first thing that we want to do, probably for ease, is just go into the event that you want to copy, and you can copy language directly from that calendar item. And so I'm just going to do that to make sure that I don't make any mistakes in the blast. Mark your calendar now for the following upcoming events. And the first one is going to be, that doesn't work well, so let's undo that. Let's try it as plain text and see how that goes. Yes. Okay, so I just did it as plain text, and probably a good idea to put the date out in front. So we're going to say September 6th. And let's make that into a link. I did that wrong, so you can just do Z to get rid of what you just did, and you want to block it. We're going to make a link out of it, and click paste to get the link in there. Open in a new window, click insert, and then I just hit my shift and enter button to get down to the next entry that I want to make. And that is going to be the general meeting. I'm going to do that, and it is September, forgot to look at the date, 17th. Oops. There's something wrong with my pad. There we go. Did it again. We're going to link it. New window, insert, And so that gives you a little bit of an idea. I'll go back in and enter the other one, the third date. You want to bold these links, and I probably should say up here to mark your calendar and sign up. Sign up now for the following upcoming events, or maybe we should say register now. I like to do register now a lot, so it just sounds better sometimes. Okay, so I'll add the last date, but I just wanted to give you an idea of something that you can do to fill in blast language. Click Save. And now we have 2 articles, and those are basically what we're going to be sending out. We also always add in the general language. So there's 2. There's Get in the Loop and News Blast information. And so what you want to do is you want to go back into the content. So I clicked Admin, Content, and Send Newsletter. Then you can filter by all, and you click Go. And this is going to show you all the blasts that we've sent through the Digital Cheetah environment. There are some missing weeks because I had to use MailChimp, I believe, for 2 of the blasts. So what I typically do is I just pull up the last blast because I know that I have the latest information. Sometimes I end up making changes within the generalized language at the bottom. For instance, recently I was informed that we cannot use the word password within anything that we're sending out via email, because if you do, it's blocked by the email gods. I have no idea how they know, but if the word password comes through, they will block it and it will not be sent on. So another problem is username. So you can't say username and you cannot say password in an email, a mass email that we're doing. So if we're sending out a mass email or a newsletter, news blast, you cannot use those 2 words in the actual email because it will not appear in folks' inboxes. So I have changed that, and now we say account name and access code, and that's the way that folks will know how to get into our PhotoBucket account. So what we want to do is we want to copy this right here, and we're going to paste it into the next available article space. You do not need to do it as plain text. You want to go ahead and paste it in with all of the appropriate links and save. And you can go ahead and rename the header, Get in the Loop, save it, and we're going to do the same thing for the news blast information. And just copy it right in. You can also copy the header if you want, but sometimes it's just faster to type it. And my computer happens to save it for me from the last time, so that's nice. The last thing that you need to do before you run testing is to change this language here up at the top to say what is included in the blast. Now, if you left this blank, there wouldn't be anything appearing, but we've always included this, and it doesn't hurt to do so. But if you, for some reason, if there's only maybe 1 article or whatever, you know, you can take that out, but I typically use it. And we get rid of the Greek stuff here, and or Latin, I guess it is, and type in the just a cryptic way of what each article is, like a little description of what it is. So this first one is going to be upcoming events, and the next one is new member mixer. And then we click save. And that is it for entering the articles. Next is we want to, you can either decide if you want to preview it here. What I typically do is I run a test first to make sure everything works. And so how I do that is I click send. And there is a folder specifically for News Blast subscribers. And in another video or at a meeting, we'll talk about how we can update these different folders. Some of the general ones are already updated automatically via the system, but soon, in fact, I'll probably do the update prior to sending the next blast. But what we have a special News Blast subscriber area, and the reason is because there are some people that do not want to receive our blast, and so I will be giving you the unsubscribed list of folks that have asked to be removed from the News Blast emails, and we'll be going over that, and I'll show you how to update the group so that the right people get the blast. You want to make sure that you are clicking on the News Blast subscribers and not newsletter subscribers. Newsletter subscribers are people from the public who have asked to get a copy of our High Tidings, or if we do a mass electronic email. You want to click News Blast subscribers because that's our members. And so you click that button, you click next. It generates the list, and what that does is it will create a list from the newest information that is in the system. So if a member goes in and changes their email address, what is going to come up now is the most recent information that's been entered into the system. And so we want to make sure that we are that the email is coming from the correct email address. And in this case, we used to be able to do it from news@jllb.org, but then we started having lots of trouble. So now we're doing it from our JLLB news@gmail.com address, and so you'll want to use that. It's always going to come from JLLB Communications, and it automatically puts in the correct title for you. I'm going to change the test email to news@jllb.org because that's the email that I have open right now, and I can look at the email from there quickly. So that's all you need to do there. And then you want to go ahead and leave these unchecked, because what it'll do is it'll merge the first name of the member into the News Blast. You want to click next. This is going to send a test email to whatever email you designated to test. So we're going to click over to the email, and you see that here it is, just came in, and here's the blast. What I do is I go in and I make sure that all the links work. Every single link that I did needs to work. And they seem to, you don't have to test these because they worked last time. You know, they've been working forever, so that's fine. You just want to make sure that the new ones that you've entered work, and they do. And so now what you can do You might want to just give it a once over, make sure that there aren't any grammatical errors and everything reads properly. Especially if you do your own article like I did here, it's a good idea to reread what you put in there, because I can't tell you how many times I found typos in my own articles after the blast has been sent, and it's always embarrassing. So go ahead and check it now that you're in the test mode, because it's not too late to make the change. Okay, that looks okay. And so we go back over here to the preview email message, and let's say that we needed to include an attachment. This is not something that I want to say I can count on one or two fingers in the past 3 years that I've included an attachment to the blast. I don't do it that way. The ways that I've showed you today for how to link different things to the blast, and then the same way that we inserted a file in the into the resources, you do the same thing with the blast. So if you had to insert a form or a flyer or something like that, you would block the words that you want to make into, or you want to insert the file, and then you do the same thing. You click insert file, you save the document to the Digital Cheetah environment, you click insert, and that's going to link that document to the blast. The reason why you don't want to have attachments is because it really slows down the mailing of the blast. It says here, mass email will greatly increase the amount of time it takes for the emails to be sent out. So just like it says, it's suggested you link to your file instead of attaching it, which I highly recommend that you do. Also, if an attachment is too big, some members won't receive it just because of whatever their email parameters are that they have set on their personal emails, and we can't control any of that from our end. So then you would, I'm not going to do this because I still need to make, I need to add that extra date into the blast. But let's say that we had to make changes. What you can do is you just click cancel, and it will take you back to, then you can just go back into the newsletter and make whatever changes you need to make. If you are ready to send, you click next, and it will say, are you sure you want to send? And you click either OK or yes, whatever it says to send. And once you click that button, then you are sending it to the 372 people, I believe it is, on the distribution list. And because it's not very, it doesn't take very long, you can't stop it. So once you're ready to go, that's when you click this next. If you still have changes that you need to make, you should cancel out. You can do previous, but I find it's easier just to cancel, and then you go back in. You can go back into the newsletter area, find your current version, and it will pull that up, and you can make whatever changes you need to make, and then go through the same process again where you send. What I think we should do is, for testing purposes, the first few times you'll want to go ahead and send it to yourself and test. What I think would be a good idea until you get very comfortable is to, after you're happy with it, then you want to send the test email to me. So you would change that test address. I'm just going to redo this. It generates that mailing list again, and when you get in here, you'll fill in my email for the test email. This is after you've already made sure that you like it, how you see it in your own personal email. You can send it to me, and then I will just do a once over, and we only need to do that for, you know, the first 2 or 3 times that you do it, and then we'll be good to go. You know, I just think that you'll be more comfortable that way, and everyone will. And then I can also give you pointers if I see anything that will help you. So that's it for that. And one other thing I want to show you real quick is how to update these links here on the personal reminders. So for the blast, what you have to do is after you send it, you want to update the link to the correct blast. So we're going to click on admin, click here to edit links. That will bring you to a page, and you're going to look for the news blast. You click edit, and this is already set up so that the ending date is the very end of this year, so you don't have to worry. It's always going to have the latest link to the blast that we enter as website people. So we're going to edit the link, so we just unlink the current one, and then you would go into the blast that you sent. Now I don't believe that the link is ready yet because we actually haven't sent it, so we're just going to pretend that we're on the one that we just did and actually go back to last week's, and we're going to view it. And what we do is we copy this entire link here. Oh, darn. I'm going to move this up a little bit so that you can see. You want to copy the entire link in the browser, and you go back into the personal link. I'm going to move this down a little bit again. And you're going to change this just like you did in the blast. Open a new window, insert, and then you're going to click submit, and that will put the latest version or the latest news on the member home page. And there's other links here you see, and it's the same idea. So if we were to do a shift, you do the same thing. You go into the calendar, you copy the link that comes up in your browser window, and you change that link. And we'll go over that in more detail when we see each other. But I think that that's going to be it for today. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.